Okay, making a shot part 3. This one's edited a little bit just because it was like 3 hours of me just kind of hand placing tiles and scattering stuff around, and it was, frankly, it got a little bit boring. The first time is interesting, the next 40 times not so much. So yeah, I think it kind of starts off good, gets a little slower over time. I will leave it up to you how you scrub around, obviously. Yeah. Okay, probably time to get back to this shot a little bit, and I have a confession. It's not a confession. It's I added a little bit of stuff to this. I recorded it. It was boring. I spent like 45 minutes just tweaking, adding this robot and tweaking animation curves and all of that, and adding this hallway, and it's just these things here. Oh yeah, and I added a little spinning fan. I am very happy with the spinning fan, but I looked at it at the end and I was like, this is not quality television. I'm experimenting with having the video wall here on the hallway, but we'll see. But yeah, I want to see if I can get if you want, yeah, you can watch that. It's fine. But I want to see if we can deck this out a little bit with some stuff. And so to do that, I want to find a picture that already kind of feels like this scene that I can steal bits from and kind of map onto 3D objects, so I can kind of just populate it really quick without having to spend 2 days modeling a bunch of like soy sauces or whatever. So one way you can do that is you can go to like unsplash.com, and they've got lots of royalty-free stuff, and you could type in like kitchen and find stuff, or like a restaurant. But they throw these friggin' LUTs on everything, which is kind of a film emulation type thing where it fakes the response curve of film, and they do it for basically all of it. So blacks aren't black, and a lot of times whites aren't white, and that's not totally what you want for your textures usually. In fact, usually you want the reverse. You want like, or I don't know, I don't. Maybe you don't want the reverse, but yeah, like this. It's like this. They've lifted all the blacks. It's just kind of weird. Also, they're all trying to, I don't know, shallow depth of field. Like, you might be able to get that food or something. So what I like is just typing Flickr Creative Commons, and that's because I actually can't find how to get to this menu from inside the website. I guess it's just flickr.com/Creative Commons. I'm gonna go down to CC0, which I mean, it's, you can use a lot of these for your things like like attribution. That's asking for very little. But if I'm using a texture in something and it just ends up in a background of a scene, sometimes I use assets and other stuff, and then I forget, and a lot of times I don't really have a convenient way to thank the random person on Flickr whose vacation photos I rated. And even if I did, they'd be like, what am I looking at here? This is just like a picture of a guy in a CG town. So let's try here. And so we can type in like a restaurant, kitchen. There isn't the greatest selection here, honestly, and there's probably a lot of you probably have better ideas for where you could get royalty-free images. Like, we could use any of these as a texture source probably, but what I like doing sometimes is just typing in like a random city. Let's go to Shanghai, and we find somebody's vacation photos from there. A lot of times you'll find, like, this person was really into architecture. I'm betting these are all the same person. Gary Todd's on a mission. But sometimes you'll find something like garbage, little glowing bits, and a lot of boats. I was like that. These are all from a museum, I think. Yeah. So I already did a bunch of this, and I found, so I have all of these guys in my not stolen folder. Do I have a stolen folder? No. Look at this. This one's actually very close. It doesn't really have actually all that many particularly usable details, but just the. All right. I like this whole thing of. Oh, I guess I thought that was straws. Those are like chopsticks in like a big can. I like it. So what do we got? Oh, I was working on a car repair shop one time, and like, this is just detail city. That is great. We could reproject this one fairly easily. I just love these boats. So okay, here's one that could be kind of cool. It's a little bit blurry, but at least the lighting isn't too baked in. Like, it's fairly ambient lighting, so we can light it ourselves. Ooh, actually, this one's great. Maybe we try to do something with this one, and some pans. Like, I like this one. This has a lot of stuff going on, But you can see the lighting is kind of like burnt into the objects. Like you can tell where the light is in relation to the object, which means we don't have as much flexibility when it comes to deciding what we're going to do with it. And here's a bunch of vegetables. So, let's try to grab... let's do this one right here. Countertop.jpg. So, I'm going to create a cylinder with, let's see, 14. We'll keep it nice and low poly. Go into a view, and let's see, what's the best way to do this? I'm not entirely sure, actually. Right now, it's still moving through the irradiance volume, even though it's hidden, so we might move it to, like, up here and go to material view, yeah. Base color, we're going to use our thing. Stolen? Not today. Not stolen. Yeah. No, that's just a way for me to remember, like, if I'm using a texture or something for an experiment or whatever, it's like, I don't have actual permission to use this in a thing that, like, I can, like, pass around. Okay, so that's, countertop, yes. So ideally, we can just kind of, like, model a bowl here. Maybe. I'm going to try to do one of these guys. And then just get a few of these guys going on. And if I get into the right kind of angle, can I just be like, you project from view and line this up with this? Yeah, there we go. So it's lazy, but for background stuff, that will work. That'll work a-okay. So we've got this one. Maybe make a taller stack. View, project from view. Yeah. Let's grab one of these pans. I like those pans. Which means maybe we try to actually emulate what it's doing a little bit. Extrude that out. And let's put some food in there. Some little tofu cubes. My favorite cube surprise. Select all those. Okay, so now can we kind of emulate that same angle? You project from view. Yeah, that maybe isn't great, but let's see. Can I easily... Let's select this, hide it, select all of these, bevel, and maybe stick that somewhere else. Anything else look like good food? Oh, there's a little pile. Oh. Just hiding this weird thing in the back. In fact, we can select this and just stick that somewhere like down here. There we go. We got a little tray of food. Go into X-ray mode. Select all that. Yeah. And I don't know exactly how this is all gonna be laid out just yet, but I'm gonna kind of try to emulate this at least at first. Let's see if we can get a different food option. Hide that. Select these guys. Something that's like just a distinctly different color. What if I do cube projection? Oh, yeah. And shade smooth. Kind of looks like potatoes. Let's do another one back here. I woke up today, and as I was eating breakfast, I turned on a series of unfortunate events on Netflix. I haven't really read the books. I read the first one. I didn't realize they turned into such a thing. Like when I started, there was only like a couple, and there's a whole like 12-book series now. But yeah, maybe we'll just leave it like that. But the Netflix show is really fun, and it's got this weird kind of vibe to it where like I remember being kind of like, yeah, this is fine when I watched it, but like it stuck in my head a little bit as a weird nostalgia thing, and I don't know why that is. Sometimes shows do that. I wish there were a word for the feeling that a show leaves you with, even more than like the actual experience of watching it. I like stuff like this because even though this is really sloppy, it kind of just looks like it's like part of the metal or, or something like that. Let's do another one. We'll turn on those screen. Oh, they're already on, but they're not doing anything. Good old screencast keys never working. Cool. In fact, maybe we'll just grab a couple cylinders while we're here. And we'll figure out what to fill them with later. Ooh, plastic bottle. Oh, we've got a lot of stuff over here. Yeah. And let's grab a, let's grab one of these posters. Whatever this is saying, we're having none. Oh, no smoking. Absolutely no smoking. You think this is a smoking establishment? It isn't. Get out of here. You might think because it's so open air, but no. Okay, and I like these styrofoam containers. Let's do one of those for sure. That just means we're gonna be going to probably Beveltown. We need to have this all going in. And this means we've just basically modeled them. We probably don't even need to steal this texture because it's just going to be like a, a flat white. But let's do it anyways. It always adds a little something, I guess. What else do we got? Ooh, yes, that box. Let's grab that. That's a good box. So just to kind of try to match up the perspective. In fact, I think that's orthographic. I'm going to switch into like orthographic mode because it's a long enough lens. You project from view. Now I can just line this up a little like this. Try to match up the perspective. Cool. Inset. Cool. Oh, we can fix that because we might actually see that somewhere. Let's see. What's a good chunk to grab? Maybe just right here. Yeah, it looks like a stove. And if we were really cool, we'd go in and we'd make all these textures glossy and all that. But, and maybe we will at some point, but we won't do it before we have to. It's a good box up there. So sometimes if you try to do this, you have to subdivide the box a little bit to get it to really work. Cool. Ooh, and let's grab that little outlet thing right below there too. bevel. Okay, now let's try sticking... Can I shrink these screencast things? Yeah, yes, there we go. Alright, let's try putting these back in our scene and see what happens. Probably makes sense for me to do this not all as the same object, but let's turn off hallway. Can I just stick them right here? How's that work? We have to think about, like, is this kind of seems as if this is like this. You can dish up as you go by, and maybe that's kind of weird. Ooh, we could add a little heat lamp though. That could be nifty. No smoking. If it's hanging from there, I feel like I should have it blowing in the wind from that sweet fan we added. And we got these little boxes, which we'll stick over here. These guys are dumb. They are placeholders. Oh yes, the big fridge thing. Where does this go? Nothing really matches the perspective already. Maybe we just slip it. Oh. What if we do it at a 45-degree angle? Would that be insane? Everything would fall out. Yeah, it's a little bit insane. Think the front. Yeah, that's just another shape to keep things interesting. Oh, and the styrofoam. Yes, yes, these guys. These guys will go over here. Let's do a taller one. Some more of them over here. Make them a different object so that we can still... Okay, let's see what this looks like rendered. I might want to do some stuff with the materials. Hey! Okay, that's kind of interesting. These potatoes look scrumptious. They actually look like potatoes. Oh, that's fun. Okay. Maybe I'll grab these plates and stick them back here. I already put the things there. Of course. This is the part right now where I'm like, if I were in VR, this would be so much easier because I could just put the thing there instead of having to like rotate around and be like, where is it in relation to everything else? You just be able to use your binocular vision. Okay. I'll be honest, I was hoping I could get a little bit more mileage out of that one picture. But let's try this area up here is a little bit crazy. Like these rectangles are a drag. So let's see what we can do. We're still in CC0, so let's see if we can find some like interesting tile. Ooh, look at that green hallway. Some tile. That's some tile. again, when doing stuff like this, I don't want to steal anybody's like art, you know, either on the side of the photographer or the person who originally assembled the tile. I want like just standard tile that like maybe some tile craftsman has done a million times in a million random houses. It's just like this is maybe that's Pompeii. I have no idea. We don't want to steal Pompeii. Well, maybe we kind of do actually. I like that guy. Whoa, that's wild. And if this looks like it's gonna be too annoying, an overdone splash, I don't know what I'm looking for exactly. Maybe it doesn't exist. I kind of thought I'd know it when I saw it. This is a lot of different types. That's cool. I think I want something that already feels integrated. Like I'm getting lots of close-ups of tile, which is good, but I want to be able to draw a little bit from seeing the way it blends into the rest of its environment, so I can use a little bit of that. This is kind of interesting. Okay, yeah. Let's use this one. Thank you to Letitia? Letitia? We'll download large for this one. Might be overkill. Not stolen. Letitia. Okay. Now let's see if we can turn this into Tile Town. Tiles, and we'll load in Letitia's great find. Not stolen. Okay. And we'll bring that in here. We'll do kind of a built-in bevel, I guess. Yeah. You project for view. And then we just can make a tile. And we could just duplicate like this, or you know, use the same tile, or we could get like 4 of them at once and just snag 4 of these at once so we're not getting exact repetition. Although if we look at it, each of these is actually made up of 4 tiles, so maybe we try to preserve that, just get some weird high density tile shenanigans. We'll bring these down too. Bring these down. It's kind of fun. And now we have some stuff that we could kind of copy and paste like that. That's fun. So we'll keep this square, and then let's make another one that's just like, ooh, I like this. This dark bit here for sure. And then once we got all this, we can go through and kind of randomize the way the tiles are laid out. You project for view. Try to line these up with maybe 4 tiles here. Okay. And oh, this one's got so much variety. I love it. I'm gonna make none of the tiles the same size, just so that when I'm assembling all of them, I have a lot I have got to deal with. It's gonna force me to come up with something that doesn't look maybe as artificial. Also being able to see the way that like the tiles fall off and the way that like plays with the underlaying mounting plaster and then like the brick underneath. That's all fairly nifty. In fact, maybe I'll keep one of. See if I can just snag like this right here. Probably shouldn't be doing this much assembly right now before I actually have it in the scene, but let's see. Well, first let's add some texture to it. I'm gonna plug this guy in there. Ooh, yeah. This part definitely should not be as glossy, but it's okay. And if I add a bevel on top of the whole thing, that'll help a bit too. Okay, let's try slipping this in now. It's kind of weird because it has kind of this 1950s diner trim around the side. But maybe if we can figure out how to get those two to gel, it'll actually be kind of cool. I don't know. Yes, we'll do like right here. Ideally, we won't even really see this galvanized stuff. Especially not if I cover it in this. Extrude that out. Extrude these up. Let's unwrap. And stick them just in one of these little plaster zones, yeah. Ooh, that's maybe too rough, isn't it? That's pretty good. Oh. Cool. So I'm going to put all the tiles in and then maybe try to just delete them so I make sure all the pattern actually fits. So I like that. Another one down there. And then we'll see if these guys can fit. Cool. And ideally it'll be catching the light. So I don't know what light it would be catching, but if it were, there we go. Having a couple of these offset so they're catching the light at slightly different times could be kind of a cool look. That said, that doesn't seem to be really what's happening here. So I like that. Come on. Let's do the same thing up here. And there's a extruded trim, no? Oh, it's okay. Stick this at the bottom. Adding tile is one of those things that is just always very enjoyable. We can reproject that. What does this look like in cycles? Huh. That's kind of interesting. I guess maybe it's more visually dominant than I really meant for it to be, but I guess that's what you get for covering a scene with high density tile. At least it's kind of a uniform color. Cool. And maybe, let's see, do you want to add any other little bits of this stuff around just kind of to keep the pattern going? Piece selection, right click, set origin to geometry, rotate it 90 degrees. I don't even know if we'll really be able to see this, but I feel like I'm not really getting the most out of these dark ones. I feel like these could be, because they're just so close to being invisible. you could use them a ton without it starting to look weird. Don't know if I want to bother with this degree of tile madness. Okay, cool. And with all of that, you can still just see the 2x4 I used in the original thing. Here, let's see. Can I just slide this back a little bit and yeah. So I do feel like there needs to be something here in the foreground, and I know we have the hallway, and maybe that'll be enough. But something to kind of like, I don't know. This just feels as if it's like cut off, as if like somebody took a big knife and just cut an actual set in half. I maybe need something here at the end, like some signs or some sort of instructions or something like that. But I'm liking how this is looking. I feel like the lighting is maybe too. You got the sunlight coming in here, and everything else is just so. All this lighting bouncing in. I turned this wall dark, hoping that it would kind of like darken this side of things, and I think it's mostly working. But where's all this light right here? Where's that coming from? Maybe just there? Is it? Let's make that just very dark. It does a little bit. Okay, let's add a little something in one of these booths in the back here. And do that, we're gonna use one of, let's see. Glowing stalls. Yeah, let's do that. We can just do kind of a hack job, I think. Cube. Materials. Glowing stall. Probably won't be glowing when we're done, but not stolen. Huh. And I'm just gonna try to kind of match this cube up with this angle right here and see if we can just snag it. Okay, actually, we'll grab that too. And this is all messed up until we add some edge loops, and then it all starts to kind of work nicely. There's some tables. Turn off X-ray mode. At this point, I'm like, what is the best thing to do? We make some tables, I suppose. Let's stick this up. Yeah, that's a. There, it's a table. And the people are in the way, and that's kind of weird. Let's grab these boxes. That was not the smartest way to do it. I really am just trying to make some junk to sit in the back, though. Let's grab that menu. I like that menu. that's fun. Stick that there too. If we felt like being kind of cool, which would be super overkill for this, but we could add a little bit of signage. Let's see, all we need is something that looks like it could be kind of like a trim bit. Oh, look at that. Okay. Check from view. As if this is gonna look like anything other than just dark. Yeah. Yeah, that did so much, Ian. Good job, you did it. Oh, hush, I say. Maybe it's fine. Oh, come on. Okay. And then I'm going to turn off the glossiness, the specular, turn up the roughness, and now it'll just kind of be a thing in the background. Let's see how this works if we stick it back there. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, well then maybe that's enough for right now. I do want to add a little something to the counter while we're here, I suppose. Like this just looks like a texture now. This doesn't look like anything actually real. So if I can do this and make it placemat, unwrap, and let's see if we can find anything that looks like it could just be a placemat. Let's see, 54. Something that has like a papery texture to it, I guess. And for this one, I want this one to be not specular at all, so hopefully it'll contrast with the shiny table. If the table is in fact shiny, I don't remember. I assume we made it shiny. Yeah, I like that a little better. If we wanted, we could always change the hue to make it whatever color we wanted, but I think that's actually kind of nice. Blue? Ooh, I kind of like that blue. Let's do steam. So these are the elements I've already put up here for you guys. I use them all the time if I can remember where I saved them. Steam elements, angled wispy. Yeah. And it's always the question of like, do I want to use the? Oh yeah, this is gonna do a lot. Max shader. Change that to an add shader. Now we just have our steam going in there. Make it cyclic. It's going. With everything else, it takes a little while. I think maybe it hasn't loaded yet, so it all goes very slow. But, oh, where's our Steam? There it is. Have this coming out of this window, maybe? I have it cranked right now just for visibility's sake. Maybe a little bit more going on. Right there. Just for while we're in Eevee, I'm going to turn off shadows. Although I'll be doing the final render in cycles, I suspect. We want to have keep all of the wind directions fairly consistent, I think. So we'll have all of them kind of going that way. You can see they're looping, and I think that won't be particularly visible in the final, but maybe I'll run. Yeah. Click new here to make that a new user, and that button. We can change the start frame, and now they won't all be lined up. Of course, now we have to tweak this emission setting when we normalize that. We gotta change that for all the different materials. Where is it? There we go. Wait, how come it goes straight from... Oh, it's one of those... Let's see. It's here, but when we are here, we see him... Is this an origin point thing? I've run into this before. Why is this? And I think that's a video layer, which means we can't click on it. Now we can click on it. Oh, and it's because the origin is, yes, the origin is here, and it uses the origin to decide where the depth is. So, does that make sense? Because the origin's here, we won't be able to see this video layer until it's closer than that origin, because that's a cheat the Eevee uses. So right here should be no? Oh yeah, right there. It's a little bit ridiculous, but... But it works in cycles, so maybe I could try to change the origin point at this point, and I think that would be... In fact, yeah, all right, let's do it. So duplicate this, put it immediately on a new layer. This is the video I want, and make that not selectable. And the video layers, I'm just going to... No, this is the video I want. Good, that one's selected. Wait, no, it's not selected. Yes, this is the video that I want. I'm going to right-click, set the origin to the geometry. Great, it's there. Now I'm going to parent it to the other video layer, which is right there. And I will turn off this one and the visibility. And it didn't work. Maybe because it had all of its own keyframes or something already. That type of stuff can be a little bit tricky. Yeah, it looks like it did have some keyframes. Okay, so they're both there. Maybe I can delete these keyframes while keeping those keyframes. That looks like it worked, yeah? And now I can put my Steam in front of him. Okay, and let's see what this looks like once I turn this all down to like 1. It's kind of fun. It makes sense that it's bright because it's all like in that sunbeam. And if we've already added haze, haze would probably do quite a bit right now if we had just a little bit of total volumetric haze going on, filling up the whole scene. But yeah, okay. So that's probably enough for today. Maybe we'll try to finish it up in the next one. Actually, I already have a video made where I'm trying to turn this guy into like a robot, and so maybe I will upload that one real quick too. All right, you guys. I will talk to you soon. I want these tiles to be bumpy, actually. Let's see. So that one's right on the seam. This one's right on the seam. That means hopefully we can just get all of these to line up like that. Like that. Like that. Probably a faster way to select all these, but then Alt-E, extrude individual faces up just a little bit. Control-B, bevel them. Can we even see him? We can't even see him! I did that for all of them and we can't even see him. Okay. We'll just slide it over here too. In fact, we'll delete these guys. Now we can randomize just a couple of these tiles. Hopefully not too much. And if we select an entire row here, oh, that adds a lot, doesn't it? That's maybe not so much from this angle, but from this angle, that actually does something. I'm happy we did that. Okay, and now I run away. Goodbye. I'm gonna keep going. So I did a quick export of this. This is just an Eevee render, but I tried to grade it kind of the same as the rest of the stuff, and so this is how it kind of works in the edit. I ended up flipping it horizontally, one to match the kind of the flow of motion of that camera movement, and also the robot's motion, which I think works pretty good. It doesn't, the sun's coming from the left in this one, and it's coming from the right in this one, but I think that's okay. It just kind of reads more as like a rim light than a specific sun direction, I think. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, the sun's coming in from behind. But seeing it set up like this reveals a bunch of different things that I think I kind of want to tweak. I want to make the refresh, whatever it is, on this screen a little bit more prominent, just because it's a nice kind of fun detail. And I want to retime it so that it pops up as it goes by. I want to reveal a little bit more of that counter back there, just to show it's a little bit of a kitchen. This floor is suddenly looking kind of whatever. You can see like where he clips into the ground. So I might add a little elevated area here. I'm loving these tiles, and so I might just start adding sort of some tiles around. This railing is quickly looking wacky, as if it is just a wireframe modifier, which it is. So maybe I'll work on that a little bit too. And so yeah, let's see. This fan is holding it down though. Yes, I do like that fan. So let's hop back into it. So I already found some tiles that I think will work okay if I can find them in this folder. I forget what they're called. tiles. Okay. With the videos like this, I'm always like, I wish I could just be like, hey, and then I do all the tiles. Check back in later. Look, here's all the tiles. But the whole conceit of this thing is that I'm going through the entire process. So you get to see me hand place every tile. I guess I could do something like this, and then it's also like continuing over this way. And we get it a little higher. Yeah, maybe that's kind of cool. I don't know. I guess it doesn't particularly read his steps, but let's see if we can grab this stuff right here. Cool. And I think I kind of want to do something similar. I'm liking the way these tiles gonna break stuff up. So maybe I'll even kind of do like. I also like this row right here. I'm telling you guys, once you get started with tiles, they're just too fun. I guess now I could try to line this up with these. Does this have a bevel on it already? It does! Okay. And is the bevel doing anything? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so I think I started actually using the shot around right here as the robot passed by. So I'm gonna change the start time for this video texture to be whoa. Why does it just snap to the end there? Okay. And we'll just remap these texture bits, I think. Quenched. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Whoa, what's going on in here? Oh, it's some texture looping. I actually like that. It looks almost like, in the way we see it, like it's like an artifact or something. That's kind of cool. Here, we'll stick these back up against this wall. And maybe we can grab, like, I don't know. I want something to be here, maybe. But I love how this food turned out. I wasn't trying to make potatoes, but it does kind of look like the potatoes. Okay, so let's take a little bit of it out here. Potatoes and only potatoes. The world famous store. Let's put let's make one of those chopstick cups just because we can do it real easy. In fact, let's do it with physics. Yeah. Okay, so selection, this is just its own cup now. Do we have to solidify it? I don't even think we really have to, but we will. And then we set it up as a collision object. Set origin to geometry. Set cursor to selected. Let's add a little chopstick situation. This one can be a little bit wider up here. And what color should they be? Let's just do black. And fairly glossy. Okay, so if we set this up to just be a rigid body, it should just... oh, it falls very fast. This should be a collision. Oh, maybe it doesn't... this may not be worth it. We'll find out. Let's see. Collision, field absorption. Collision. It doesn't seem to be stopping. Convex hull, let's just go mesh. Huh. Apply all transforms. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to waste any more time with this, although it is weird that it didn't just work. Oh, and I guess I need to... Oh, no, they're all... Oh, no! Well, that works. How do I remove all of the rigid body stuff? Can I do object, rigid body, remove? Great. Okay, good. That's more what I wanted. And I do want to bevel all these. And join. And there we go. It could be chopsticks. It could be a cup of cutlery. It's just one of those things that you see in a buffet type situation. Different angles so it doesn't look too copied and pasted. Okay, and that means let's move this wall back. Make sure we're not seeing too... Yeah! Yeah, that opens it up a little bit. Again, it's never probably a great idea to design your set just to show off the set, but it's like I'm an environment artist. It kind of is just a fun thing to do. Let's grab these guys and try sticking them back here. Whoa, let's do some crazy stuff with the shadows. Here we go. Okay. Navigation. Why are you so tricky sometimes? I think typically tiles are used more as like an accent than an actual thing that's on every surface of the wall. Which means I might be kind of overdoing it a little bit, but some days you just gotta overdo it a little bit. That's kind of nice. Uh-oh. It's over there, too. Interesting. Must be Alt-D'ing something. Okay, so what do we do? Shift D. Make a new instance, slide this up, delete the linked one, bring that down. Same with this one, I guess. I'll be honest, I'm tired and I don't even really know exactly what the problem is, but that seemed to fix it. Okay. I want to have one of those weird, like, things where, like, customers come and maybe they'll, I don't know, stick $1 or something up here. And I'm trying to think of, like, what the equivalent of that could be. But some stuff that could be just kind of hanging from there. Maybe it's just pictures of their kids? Maybe? Pictures of something. I'm trying to think, what could I get a bunch of? Pictures of children. Ooh! No, this is it, an alignment grid. Or this guy. I got all of these, obviously. This is a map I made of this market. Yeah, maybe there's multiple of those kind of scattered around. In fact, let's make a little informative. So this is like a, this whole place is a mall type thing that was built inside this old waterworks facility. And so it's kind of a little bit of a tourist attraction, just like in and of itself. It's a mall, but also it's like, you know, come look at this old thing. I thought my brain was really on, and so I was like, ooh, I should record more of this. But as I'm talking, I'm realizing I'm not talking good. We've got enough mentalness to make a thing, but not to also narrate well. You know what I'm saying? You are knowing what I'm saying increasingly over time. I can tell you that. So maybe this will be the top half of the map? Yeah, this will be the bottom half of the map. That way it doesn't just look like an exact replica of a map asset I have elsewhere. And let's make it a little bit glossy. Ideally, that's glossy. I love these things. I love taking trails, little transformative, informative. What is it called? Interpretive trails. Yeah, that adds a little something. I like it. I guess it's probably milking it too much to stick it here as well, but maybe it isn't. This one could just be a close-up of all of the mall names. So let's change this to clean map so we can actually see what we're doing. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And at some point, I think I'm supposed to turn this into some signs. Which, maybe we can do that sooner than later. By which I mean now. Textures, signs. My signs, captured, out in the wild. So these are just things I've taken pictures of over time. What looks good? Ooh, let's get, this is from the Washington State Ferry. Let's see, just copy this down here. 604. It'd be easier if I named everything. 604. There it is. And now we can select this. We want to match the. I guess we have to. If you ever import it and the scale is wrong, sometimes it means you have to apply the transform or the scale. And now if we unwrap it again, it comes into the right aspect ratio. There we go. Okay, so this one is for security purposes. And hopefully no one will ever get close enough to read that it's about boats. Emergency evacuation slide. That makes no sense for mall, but gosh darn, I love it. Because what if it did? Be like, oh. Here's the instructions to abandon ship. Let's see, it's just boop, 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 boop. Huh. Well, now we know. What a scary thought, actually. Wow, every single one of these. Emergency evacuation slide knows what's what. This one is rotated. Hey, one of the tiles survived! Cool. And also to transition from the previous shot, there was it was the robot and the guy playing cards, which is the shot made by with help from my friend Nate Taylor. Actually, he did most all of it. I like it a lot. Make this light red, and hopefully this will help transition to it a little bit better, which highlights the fact that this wall isn't exactly finished. I think I found a better texture for this wall actually. So let's check this out. Did I do the wrong texture? I thought I just... Oh, okay. Maybe I did. It's just too zoomed in. Let's find out. Oh, yeah, it's only using that little bit in the middle there. There we go. There we go. That reads more like something. We only see it for a second anyways. And if I cared, I could turn this into a bump map. Let's do that. Vector bump into the height. Okay, so this is what people were telling me to turn the distance, not put it into the distance, turn down the distance. Cool, and let's plug something into the roughness too. I guess we can just plug this into the roughness again, but we want to invert it because we want the white tile areas to be the smoothest. So converter color ramp, we'll make the yeah, but not perfectly glossy. And let's see, can we change it so that this part isn't also glossy? Just keep the tiles. Cool. I think that'll work. And the reason actually I edited it edited it. The way I did is because the camera did this particularly quick camera move right about here, and I wanted to cut on that move. But if I move that earlier, I can still get some of that red stuff in there because I like that as the transition. Let's see. So this is that motion. So I'll just make this all happen a little bit sooner, and hopefully it'll just kind of be like, whoa. Wow, it seems abrupt. I think it's because I got some of that noise in here too. Maybe it's a little bit too strong. It's not very strong. Cool. Maybe I can use this guy right here to kind of be like a weird gate or look like the top of an elevator or something. We're only going to see it for like 3 frames, if that. Yeah, we probably won't even see that. This video wall, should I just get rid of it? Keep it nice and subtle. But that means I'm going to model a little bit based off of this texture here. So we'll do this, extrude this out, extrude that in, turn these weird dark strips into something. Delete that bit. Ooh, and we can remap this part. Oh, we don't even see up there. That's great. Maybe we can just add a little bit of a curve to some of this. Cool. Especially with big straight lines like this, adding a little bit to kind of break up that silhouette is, you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck. Maybe add a seam here, like just doesn't line up perfectly. Yeah. Okay, let's quickly see just how this looks actually in Cycles, because we're taking Eevee's word for it, but how do you render? Oh, it's bright over here. Oh, it's because I'm in a very low contrast mode, I think. Yeah, okay, that's about what I was expecting. I guess it's weird that all these stickers are just down here so close to the ground. But again, we only see it for a couple seconds, and there'll be motion blur and all that. I do want to add some bumps. Some bumps to this guy. Let's do kind of what we did before. Color into the normal. Vector bump. Turn down, oh, plug it into the height. Turn down the distance is what everybody said. I've had enough people correct me on that one that I feel like I should take them at their word. But I don't want to. Height, normal. I turn the strength. And it's, oh, I guess it's doing kind of the same thing. It's just giving me a lot on the, it's looking like wrinkles. We can fix that with converter, color ramp. Just take all the highlights and smooth them out. I guess I could also use a viewer node. Okay. That doesn't really do much. It doesn't matter. Maybe we should add a couple tiles just to this seat. No, we probably shouldn't, but we're going to. Let's see, how well can we just stick this, like... Oh no, it's doing weird stuff. Why is that clipping through there? If we uncheck show back face, does that fix it? No, it's the weird thing with like the where the origins are. Wow, my words are not doing very good right now, actually. I should probably not be doing this, but it works okay in Cycles, so. Yeah. Okay, now I'm done for the day.